What are some of the best stocks to invest in right now in October of 2023? Well, I got a little bit of assistance from artificial intelligence to give us what the best stocks are right now. Now, I'll give you a hint. One of these is absolutely amazing and was not on my radar. One of these I would take off of my radar, and there's one that I have a better suggestion for you. All right, so let's go ahead and break it down. What is the program that I use? Yes, ChatGPT is out there. I would argue that Bard is better for a question like this. That is because it is powered by Google. Google is a current search engine. It is not only a large language model. That means that ChatGPT just takes stuff that was existing from a certain period in time, and it doesn't really do anything that is forward and current looking until that changes. Google, though, it's current. You can ask it what is in the news right now. It's going to tell you something that happened very, very recently where ChatGPT and other AI programs are not able to do. And I've done a video similar to this in the past, and these were not the same stocks that was on that list. So what are the stocks that are here? What do I think about them? The first one here is Amazon. This is just an interesting choice for them. It's up 23% in the last 6 months, up 9% over the last year. Why is that interesting? Because Amazon just recently made a purchase to have a competitor to Bard AI, which is owned by Google, and a competitor to ChatGPT. It's just interesting that one program would suggest you invest in another competitor. Just interesting, not good or bad. I think Amazon is a fine company if you decide to invest in it. I just think it's okay. Okay, it's if someone were to say, hey, I'm putting a good chunk of money in Amazon, I'm not going to bat an eye. I'm not going to be upset at that at all. Next one here is CrowdStrike. They are a cybersecurity company. The stock symbol there is CRWD, up 23% in the last 6 months and down 3% over the last year. Now, they're down because a lot of tech was down in 2023, and I think that's okay. I think CrowdStrike is a very good and solid company. I will tell you this, and I've said this inside members only. I've been saying it for quite a while. I chose Palo Alto Networks, and if you compare their recent performance to each other, Palo Alto Networks has done much better. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, I'm not right about everything, but we chose the right one right now for Palo Alto Networks compared to CrowdStrike. If you decide you want CrowdStrike instead, I think CrowdStrike is a fine company. There's nothing wrong with it. I just think that the one I chose does a bit better. And obviously I'm biased because that's the one I chose, but obviously you can look up how well these two stocks have done last year and you can see the difference between those two. Next here is a company I've never heard of. Okay, I've never heard of this one, and it is Mercado Libre. And the stock symbol is MELI. They are an e-commerce company primarily in Latin America. The stock is down 6% over the last 6 months and up 39% over last year. I don't know enough about the company to tell you whether it is good or bad. What I will tell you is this. In the US, we expect that shopping and retail is supposed to drop in sales compared to what we have seen over the last few years. Is that going to be the exact same in Latin America? I don't know. Is this the best, most powerful company or the cream of the crop in e-commerce in Latin America? I don't know. These are questions that I would ask if I were considering investing in this company. And unlike in Amazon, where I just know what Amazon does and what their business is, because one, we talk about it enough, and two, I'm more familiar with it. This is something where I would spend a lot of time understanding this company and its competition before investing. So that one, again, I'm not voting yes or no on it. I don't know enough is what I'm saying for that one. If you want me to do a deeper dive breakdown, then we can. But this one is just an incomplete right now. From the numbers, it's okay. So that I'm just gonna leave that one on its own. Company I never heard of. Next one is the one I would say that shocked me the most, and it's just not one that was truly on my radar. Now, it was on my radar for a video to do last week. I just didn't get to it. If you want me to do a video on this one, let me know in the comments. This one is DraftKings, DKNG. It's up 49% in the last 6 months, up 85% over the last year. And we have seen, especially if you are a sports fan, you have seen how gambling has taken over all of sports content over the last maybe 6 or 7 years. And it's just interesting how that has just completely shifted. The reason why is because DraftKings and other sports books have paid millions, I would say billions actually, lobbying and getting things changed at the state level across the country. You're seeing where there are some states that would never allow gambling are now allowing sports betting and sports gambling in a way that was not the case years before. I think it's solid. I would do more research in terms of how profitable the company is. That's a question that I would go into because yeah, the stock has done great, but usually, not to say that DraftKings is in this case, but usually a lot of tech companies in their first 7, 8, 9 years or so spend a whole lot of money on marketing, spend a whole lot of money on lobbying and trying to get stuff passed, and have not been exactly profitable. I don't know that for them. That's a question I would have. And that's the first thing I would look at if I were considering investing in this company. Again, if you want me to do a deep dive on this, let me know in the comments and we can do one for that one because I am interested. Next one here is Boston Scientific. BSX is the stock symbol there. They are up just 2% over the last 6 months, but up 28% over the last year. They do medical equipment. Now, I said the words medical equipment. If you have been watching, and especially if you are in our members only, you know what my medical equipment company is, and mine is McKesson MCK, which is done better than Boston Scientific. Just throwing that out there. But Boston Scientific, it's fine. Again, up 28% a year, that's cool. Up just 2% over the last 6 months, I think you could really get double that, more than double that inside of a savings account. But hey, that is what they suggested for the top stocks to invest in right now. Again, I would choose McKesson if I had to choose between the two. I think Boston Scientific is okay, but it's not something that absolutely excites me. The last, well, not the last one. Well, I guess maybe it is the last one on the list. We'll see. Maybe I have a bonus for you. But we have Wynn Resorts. That is WYNN. This one is the, I won't say most confusing, most puzzling. I'll say that, which you could argue is the same thing. It raised an eyebrow when I looked at it. And that's because it's down 22% in the last 6 months, up 36% over the last year. And I'm someone who owns a major competitor in Las Vegas Sands, which I checked my portfolio not too long ago, and I used to be up by double digits. It is not anymore. And there's something going on in the resort travel industry. I don't know what that is, but I will find the bottom of it to figure out whether Wynn Resorts is going to be something that you should invest in the long term, whether I need to keep or get rid of Las Vegas Sands myself. These are questions that I do have and something I personally need to figure out, but I'm curious as to why I would choose a company like this. That's just, an open question before I would jump into a company like this. So I'm looking at the entire list. Amazon, CrowdStrike, Mercado Libre, DraftKings, Boston Scientific, and Wynn Resorts. If I'm not doing any more research, which again, you obviously should, okay? Google does not give financial advice. In fact, it says at the bottom of the screen, disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. Okay, that is what it says here. So you don't ever want to just take something blind. I would use each of these and do more research. But if I were just to pick, I think Amazon's obviously the quote unquote safest here. That doesn't mean you won't lose money, okay? But is the most well-known, most valuable, least likely to, vanish and go bankrupt in my view. I think DraftKings is obviously one that looks like it's going to make you the most money right now. If I am someone who is perhaps really thinking long-term outside of Amazon, I would really like CrowdStrike. That's not to say that I wouldn't research the rest of these because I am interested in what's going on with Wynn. I'm curious what Boston Scientific has in store, and I have no idea about MELI, Mercado Libre. I'm just really curious there. But those are the companies that they have. Now, some of these, as I mentioned, haven't done as well as some of the companies that we have mentioned in our many videos and lists inside our members only. So what I would encourage you to do, take this list, add it to your watch list, but also add some of the stocks that you see in this video next.